Hello everyone, welcome to Hayashi Dojo in Mannheim, Germany. This is another video lesson for my students and also for one friend and colleague from the Canada JKA who sent a request to me to help him go shopping for a Hakama and also give him some further information on the Hakama. So, today's lesson will be on this, okay? This is a Hakama. I'll sort of move it so that the light picks up the way it's tied. There's a specific way to tie it. This is worn in several styles of Budo. And it is generally worn with one of these, a Kaku Obi, which I'll explain in just a moment. And depending on the style, either a white keikogi, like this, which we wear in karate, or a dark blue one or a black one, and I'll explain that in just a moment. Now, the Hakama, the first thing you learn when you get one is how to fold it before you learn how to wear it. Oh, historical background first. I'll explain why here at Hayashi Dojo I teach primarily the Shotokan Karate tradition as taught by the Nihon Karate Kyokai, Japan Karate Association. But for those who are interested within my group of members, I also teach the Seitei Iaido Kata as taught by the Zen Nihon Kendo Renmei. This is a standardized branch of Iaido. What Iaido is a practice involving various types of training sword. Iaido traditionally comes from Koryu Kenjitsu. Koryu meaning the old traditional style, Kenjitsu meaning the art of the sword. Most commonly recognizable is this. This is a shinai used in kendo, where they wear bogu or armor that involves a helmet with a grid to protect the face, gloves to protect the wrists and forearms, a chest plate, and then it's then in simple terms full contact fighting using one of these bamboo swords. Okay, shinai. The camera can stay there. I'll just pick up one of these. It's the Boken. Okay. This is the other primary training tool that we use for the beginners in Iaido. It's not used for free partner sparring, as this will injure people. It's a wooden sword called Bokuto, or also called Boken. Okay. This is used at first for learning the Iaido kata, and then later for Battle Jitsu training, partner training exercises. Okay? Bokuto. And this is the lightweight one, I can feel it from the weight. We also use, for the students who want to go further in Iaido, Iaido. Iaido is a sword specifically made for learning the Iaido kata. It does not have a cutting edge and generally is not, the blades are not made of material used for contact or for cutting. This is an Iaido. Okay, it's used primarily for learning the kata. Okay. Also called Moguto. Moguto meaning a model sword in the Japanese sense because it's not a live blade or a real cutting sword. This would be a lightweight one with more aluminium in the metal mixture. Okay. This would be more a realistic weight, Iaido. Okay. For those who are already familiar with Japanese swords, you'll recognize it from the better sagyo and fittings, that this would be a higher end Iaido. Okay, so brief introduction. Now, why it relates to karate? Because first of all, karate is a word that's recognizable worldwide. It's like saying Mickey Mouse or Santa Claus. Most of the world's population have an idea what karate is, but Iaido is a lesser known form of the Budo Japanese traditional martial arts. Here's the relation, okay? One of the earlier masters in our lineage, Sensei Sokon Matsumura, who worked for the king of the Ryukyu kingdom, actually traveled to Satsuma in southern Japan and learned Jigen Ryu Kenjutsu. So he learned one of the classical schools of Kenjutsu. He passed this on to one of his students, Anko Azato, who learned the Jigen Ryu Kenjutsu from Master Matsumura, and was also one of the two teachers of Gichin Funakoshi, okay, who didn't specifically train in Kenjutsu, but was definitely, first of all, familiar with it, and definitely had to do with these individuals during the 1920s, after he moved to mainland Japan in 1922 and tried to establish Okinawan karate as a new form of Japanese Budo. So, an important figure combining the two schools of Shotokan Karate and Iaido or Kenjutsu, we have to come to the wall, would be Gichin Funakoshi's third son, Gigo Funakoshi. I'll just explain over here at the photo. Okay, this is from 1937. This is Gichin Funakoshi with the seniors of his early team. This is Sensei Masatoshi Nakayama. This is Gigo, or the Japanese version of his name, Yoshitaka Funakoshi. Here he is again. Gigo Yoshitaka Funakoshi, who died in 1945 at the end of the Second World War, was a student of three main styles. The first one being the Shotokan style of karate, as taught by his father. The second being Kendo, as taught by Sensei Hakudo Nakayama. And thirdly, Iaido, also taught by the same Sensei Hakudo Nakayama. And just very briefly, Sensei Hakudo Nakayama was a very central figure in the formation of the All Japan Kendo Federation, the Zen Nihon Kendo Renmei, and in the 1920s was considered Japan's most famous swordsman and expert in Iaido and Kendo. Now, why this is important for us in the Shotokan tradition, Yoshitaka Gigo Funakoshi introduced a lot of the lower stances and footwork, as well as the Japanese mannerisms and military structure into our modern karate that he had learned from Kendo and Iaido. Okay? This explains why we practice the basic Seitei standardized Iaido kata, which I know is separate from karate, but many of our masters were involved in both arts. We can come back to the main explanation station. Okay. The first chief instructor of our style, Masatoshi Nakayama, actually ended up with some of his colleagues founding the Japan Karate Association in 1949 and spending his life involved in Shotokan Karate because of a mistake. The men in his family members were famous Kenjutsu instructors, so he specifically came from a Kendo family. And when he went to Takushoku University, was looking for the Kendo club and read the training schedule wrong and ended up in Sensei Gichin Funakoshi's karate group, not knowing what it was. Okay, and directly to our dojo's lineage, Sensei Teruyuki Okazaki also began training in Kendo before moving on to train in Karate starting at age 16. Okay, that was already a fairly long talk, so I think this video will end up being basic introduction to Iaido, and I'll present a second video on the Hakama, unless I'm just going to take a quick peek at the phone and see how many minutes we have so far. Oh! In my head it plays like 2 minutes. That was already an over 10-minute speech. So, that's just a little bit of the background behind this, and in a second separate video I shall explain how to shop for, how to care for, and how to wear a Hakama. Okay, which will be a follow-up to this video. Thank you for watching.